New Year's Eve, y'all. This is the last day of 2019. The very last day of this decade. Man, as I look back over life and I keep reflecting, I remember and if y'all watch all my videos, you may have heard me talk about this, but I lost a friend. She was 33, and I think I may have been 29 that year when she passed. And so, in my mind, for some reason, I feared that I wouldn't make it for my 30th birthday. And here I am, 24 years later, going into a whole new decade. God is so good. You know, and you know, when you go through things in life, I'm half a century plus 4 years old. You know, you look at life, you look at things differently. Things that you used to think so highly of, and people you aspire to be like, oh, that changes when you go through life and you start losing people you love, and you see how some forms of success can be a blessing yet a curse. Then you start reflecting on life, and it humbles you, it changes you. It makes you more compassionate, makes you more forgiving, and it's just, when they talk about the golden years, you've seen it all, you've done it all, you've heard it all, you've experienced it all. Man, I'm telling you, don't sleep on the senior citizens, baby, because they got some stories, they got some words of wisdom. They got some testimonies that'll help you get through some very hard times. Ask me how I know. Been there, done that. But yeah, I just want to come on here and say it's the ending of an era. And I was looking yesterday afternoon. Oh, y'all, this sun is so bright. Yesterday evening, and on our news, they were doing the memoriam for 2019. Man, there was so many people on there that passed this year, I didn't even know it. Some of those people I didn't even know had passed. But you know, we're human, so you know, we go through things where, you know, it's things we want. Like for me, at a young age, I wanted to be successful. I still want, everybody want to be successful, I would hope. But you know, some of the choices I made, it didn't stop me from being successful, but it stemmed my growth for a while. So then I had to get back on track, reshift, refocus, you know, and step back in, get back on the road. You know how sometimes you detour, but I had to get back on the road. And so I realized that the things that I went through when I detoured made me stronger when I got on the road again. So some things I know I just had to walk completely away from, or just don't do, you know, not even get involved or whatever. It could be personal, places, things, circumstances. You know, so much as making a decision about changing jobs. You know, for a long time I wanted to leave Louisiana, but my mother was here. Now 2019, my mother's gone, so I don't know what the future holds. I know what I want, but I want God's will to be done in my life, because if you don't go with God, it's probably going to be worse for you than better. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So there are things that we want that He may not have for us. I was watching that movie last night with Idris and I can't think of the lady's name, but he was a neurosurgeon and she was going to get married, and she heard him asking the lady about the flight that was canceled, and so she told him, let's go and see if we can charter a plane, and that's what they did. And so I think the pilot of that plane ended up having a heart attack, and they crashed. But thank God the plane didn't burn up, because that was their shelter, you know, while they were there, until the lady told them they needed to move or whatever. And they went through trials and different things happened, but they both survived. And it was good. I can't even think of the name of it. But anyway, and I thought about it, you know, a delay of the cancellation of the flight to the next morning. Had they waited and not taken the matters into their own hand, would they have landed there safely? Or was that destined to happen so that they could end up together? Because I missed the ending, but I was told that they ended up together. And so as fate would have it, they ended up together. I mean, it's you know, life is just something. You go through the motions and you plan out your life and what you want to do, but things don't always happen the way you plan. That's why I say I want God's will to be done in my life. I remember we had a pastor, I was at this church visiting, and he said that a lady, one of the church members, a faithful member of the church, was sick. And so the family had called him over to pray for them. And the lady died anyway. And so the son was mad and said, well, you said you would answer our prayers. If we asked, it would be given. But my mama still died. And the pastor told him, say, well, son, listen. Say, you want to pray that God's will be done, because everybody have a time to die, and that was her time. Had it not been, she would have survived. It was God's will that she expire. So life is something. You got to realize that. And I've you know, it's taken me a while to get here. We make plans every day, but we go with God. It's got this book. I'm going to put the link to that book. It's a little red prayer book. And I had one, and I don't know what happened to mine, but when my mom died, she had it in her purse. And I got the purse that she had in my closet when she passed. But it had, it's a prayer book, and it's specific prayers for any situation you may have in your life. And I think you just send for it, and it used to be free. I don't know how that works now, but you would call in or go on. I guess maybe you can go online, but it's been out a long time. It's a little red prayer book. When I get home, if I can remember later on, I want to share it with you. If you don't, and I want to be better too, get you a prayer life, a prayer partner. Get you somebody who knows the word, who can speak the word over your life for you, pray with you, help you during situations. Because y'all, I'm telling you, the world we live in, you know, there's good and bad in every situation. But sometimes the things you go to, you have to ask yourself why. Sometimes it's decisions you made. Sometimes it's lessons to be learned. That's just how life is. But in reflection and retrospect, you know, if you just be kind and do right, my mom always told us the unjust don't thrive. You know what I'm saying? So you go around doing bad and continue to do bad, you're not going to thrive. And I tell people, you'll gain in one hand, you'll think you're gaining in one hand, and you'll be losing out of the other one. So you just have to be careful. You know, we all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. You know, we're not God. But I tell you what, a lot of the people, most of the people he used in the Bible had issues. Murderers, adulterers, and everything else. But he used them. And before they left this world, they had a relationship with him. They knew who he was, and they lived their life differently. So that's what I'm saying. I don't care where you are in life. You could be a drug addict, a prostitute. It don't even matter. God can still use you. See, that's why I don't like to look down on anybody. Because, you know, you're looking down on somebody who may possibly be an angel. You just don't know. You just don't know. You don't know how the Lord could. I remember this guy. We all grew up in the neighborhood together. He was very smart, though. He left, and I think he went in the military. And one day I saw him over by Hobby Lobby on the bus stop holding a sign for money. And that hurt me so bad, but it was I think it may have been a hot day. I didn't have any money, but for some reason, because I don't really just drink sodas like that. Maybe I had just bought them or something. I don't know. But I had some sodas in the vehicle. I didn't have any food or anything. And I made the block and had my niece was with me. And I had her go give him a soda. He told me thank you. And I wonder what had happened to him. Y'all, that boy connected with me on Facebook. He buying a house. He living in Texas or Georgia or somewhere now, buying a house and doing real well, managing a store or something. God can change people. You don't know what. You know, sometimes I know like a lot of people, they go through some type of devastation in their life and they just like lose it for a while. Like when my mom passed, I didn't lose it, but I got very, very depressed. But when my dad died, that was my prayer. Lord, don't take my mom. But you know, I was blessed to have my mother for 53 years of my life. And I know some people, one of my church members, she and I was talking, and her mom passed when she was 16 years old. I think she was the oldest, so she ended up taking care of the sisters and brothers. So, you know, no matter what your situation, no matter how bad you think it is, be thankful, be grateful. Like Paul said, the Apostle Paul said, I've learned to be content in any situation I'm in. Because you know what? God is there with you. Whatever it is you're going through, it may be a lesson he's trying to teach you or whatever, but you can learn, you know, just, I don't know, just try to keep the faith. That's what I'm going to tell you. Try to keep the faith no matter what's going on in your life. Because you know what? Really and truly, people be like, oh, she got it all together. But you know what? We are not in control of our own life. Some people may think that. But everything you got, baby, God gave it to you, whether you're a success or a failure. And if you're a failure, have you done anything to make the situation better? Because it may be an opportunity for you, but you're just not trying to go get it. Because see, Lord, like my pastor said, he said, God didn't hang around with people that wouldn't. Most people that got the Lord, that Jesus worked with, they were already busy. They were doing something. You understand what I'm saying? So, even for myself, sometimes at night I come home from work, y'all, I'm just going to be honest. I be mentally drained. I just come in and go to bed. But you know what? This year I'm not doing it. I'm going to get up and do something productive. I got to start exercising more. I have a gym membership that I don't even think I used the whole year. And I don't just pay $10 for Planet Fitness. I think I use 20 something. I'm just keeping it real. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. But I know one thing. Two vices in my life that I have to remove, and I'm speaking them to an existence, and I'm cutting them off. It's procrastination, and just sometimes, you know, just being lazy, getting out of work, mentally drained, but there's nothing wrong with me physically. And sometimes I think about it: a body at rest, stay at rest; a body in motion, stay in motion. So if I get up, I'm gonna start utilizing my crock pot and stuff more. I'm gonna get up and get busy. And I want y'all to do the same. Much love to y'all. Bye.